At least one person has been killed and two others injured after a gunman opened fire at an immigration facility in the American state of Texas. So those numbers have been revised. Sarah Allegre has this report.
Immigration agents are on edge after investigators say they were targeted by a sniper here in Dallas. Now, the Department of Homeland Security is saying a bit earlier they've confirmed at least one fatality. Federal investigators spent the day combing through a Dallas rooftop. They say that's where a gunman took aim at an ICE field office.
We believe that he was shooting at law enforcement and the detainees from an apartment building, that it looks like the detainees were among the victims.
Officers say the shooter took his own life as police closed in, and ICE confirms the detainees shot were sitting inside a transport van at the time of the attack.
The shooter was firing indiscriminately throughout the whole building. We found bullets throughout the entire building that had punctured into the facility.
The motive's still a mystery, but FBI Director Kash Patel shared this photo of bullets found nearby. One had anti-ICE written on it.
The FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence.
Officials say no ICE agents were hurt. Now, this comes just months after another attack on a Texas immigration facility. Prosecutors called that one a planned ambush.
This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop.
ICE says the detainees are being processed here at the office before being moved to a long-term detention facility.
This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. And as we get closer and closer to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's world and rulership, things are going to get more and more chaotic. Because as the scriptures say, Revelation 12:12, he's going to come down with great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I hope and pray that this lesson be edifying to the elect. So we're getting, into some real sticky times, man. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. 1 second. Here we go. This is from Fox 4. So Joshua John, the suspect, is, let's see, a 29, says a brief, a 29-year-old man, Joshua John, with ties to North Texas and Oklahoma, has been identified as a suspect in a shooting at a Dallas ICE detention center. One person was deleted in the shooting and two others were critically injured. The suspect is also deceased. The investigation is ongoing and police have not yet released the motive for the shooting. And if that's true, I'm speaking as a man. With everything that's been going on since, the whole CK thing, it's very interesting how this happened. And, anybody that's paying attention, we know that the so-called left is the ones that are advocating for the abolishment of ICE, right? Because of, all the evil shit that they're doing. But we could see that left-right paradigm going on, in this country. And it's on purpose. You know, everything that, you know, that's been happening with this situation with CK is, if you're paying attention, it makes it very clear that they're, like the elites say, never let a good crisis go to waste. So they're using this to push for further, surveillance, further, monitoring, censoring. They had a thing with Jimmy Kimmel and they canceled him, and then they, brought him back, and, I have to watch, what was said, but, he's a puppet, just like, a lot of these celebrities, man. They push an agenda, and this is the guy right here, another Edomite, and we'll see where this goes, but this is the division, that's happening here in Babylon, and it has a greater purpose. This is Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahawashi knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? And that's where we are with it, man. You got Edomites casting out other Edomites. You have the after the CK incident, you have a bunch of damn Edomite men talking about fight, white men fight, all this, fight against what? You're fighting against each other. This is what, as many times they want to call, black on black violence, right? Black on black crime. This is white on white. So-called white on white. It's really red on red. You devils, there ain't nothing white about you. And there's no such thing as black people either. But that's another topic for another lesson, man. So we are really seeing the downfall of our enemies, man. And we could see that all of this is being played out so that the prophets of the Lord will not be on the streets, man, because they're bringing out a lot of talking points saying that, let me see it. Fuck yeah. Where we at? Here we go. Saying that, we need to get rid of, matter of fact, let me grab it. Salakia, 1 second. Here we go. This is what the elder Yahawah sent. This is from Matt Walsh. It says, there have been at least 4 left-wing T attacks in the past 2 weeks. 4 in 2 weeks. It's only getting worse. They're getting more brazen. We have to treat left-wing militants like ISIS and crack down mercilessly, or lots of people will be deleted. So we can see where this is all leading. And at the same time, there has been talks of, censorship with, certain groups, so to speak. Let me see. Let's get this. Let's go over here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Lots of talk of free speech. Google admits political censorship on YouTube, vows to restore free speech. Yeah. Here we go. Israeli leader demands global social media restrictions to stomp out you see it. Now, what's been happening is a lot of people have been blaming the small hats for CK's deletion, celebrities and everything, and it is definitely seeming to be a whole psyop in order to push for more censorship. So, the reason that, of course, obviously, the Spirit and power of Yahawashi doing this lesson, but we know that the famine of the word is coming, because who is the most anti-small hat are the true Israelites, man. The men that are sighing and crying for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof, man. So we're the target, So that means that, you brothers and sisters got to get it while the getting is good, because these devils are ready to come down with great wrath, because they know their time is short. The Lord said that their time is short. Yahawashi said He'd give them but a short time, to rule this earth, man, and really to destroy it, because that's what they've been doing. So, these prophecies are coming to pass, man. This is Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And that's what's coming, man. A famine of the word. Ezekiel 3:26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be a reprover to them. And shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. So this time is coming, man. So what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation, seeking the Lord, because these times are coming, man, and they're ready to come down with force and all these different restrictions, because their time is very short, and they're going to use incidents like this, to push for this for the men of the Lord to be taken off the streets and ultimately persecuted. But they're only going to be able to go so far, because Yahawashi will deliver their men from all of these tribulations, So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to blow the trumpet on this. I hope and pray that this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawashi once again for putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson, to push the button. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me the truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters out to listen, learning, fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing His word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say Shalom, Abba Ball, and Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, Shalom. To the next one.